fans, and welcome to another edition of Inside Bear Athletics on Bear TV. Tonight, it's our look at the Southwest softball program. Coach Shay Johnson gives us his season preview, plus a brand new segment, the Bear Spotlight. We're going to spotlight some soccer and baseball players throughout the course of tonight as well. So bear down and get ready. It's time for Inside Bear Athletics on Bear TV.
Inside Southwest Bear Athletics is your home for all things sports related at Southwest Mississippi Community College. Benji Embry is the voice of Southwest Bear Athletics and a seasoned sports broadcaster in Southwest Mississippi. You can hear him on game day broadcasting nearly all of our athletic events. Join us weekly on Tuesdays to catch up on the discussions. You can hear us live on Bear TV, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. You can also download the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google, and Amazon Music. So if you have questions or you just want to keep up with teams and stats, you have come to the right place. Inside Bear Athletics.
Well, welcome back to Inside Bear Athletics here on Bear TV. Time right now for another Bear Spotlight. And this spotlight is once again on the Southwest Women's Soccer Program. And joining us, another one of Coach Zach Mills' players. First, introduce yourself to everybody.
My name is Renee Harris. I'm from Poplarville, Mississippi, and I'm a freshman.
A freshman from Poplarville, Mississippi. Well, now that you kind of told us a little bit about yourself, let's back up. You're obviously a soccer player here at Southwest. Your first introduction to soccer, when did that come?
I played when I was like 5 years old. I played for 1 year, and then I didn't get interested again until my middle school in 7th grade, and I joined the team, and I've loved it ever since. About 10th grade, I decided that this is something that I want to do in college, and I worked really hard to get where I am.
Who were some of the people that pushed you along the way to be the soccer player you are today?
My family, they are a huge encouragement to everything I do, especially soccer. And my high school coach, Beth McShay, she really pushed and worked for me to get here.
So your family, your high school coach, Poplarville, Mississippi, not that far from Summit to Southwest, but a lot of people in the States don't know a lot about soccer, so it's always interesting to me when you see a hometown product playing soccer. It's always like, what got you there? So it was your high school coach and your family that kind of brought you to the game? Mm-hmm. Let's talk a little bit about outside. This is what we want to know. We want to know more about you as a person. So let's talk a little bit about outside soccer. What is it? What are some of the things you like doing?
I'm a student first. I do a lot of homework in my free time. Other than that, I don't know, I like spending time with my friends. I've done a lot of different stuff other than soccer over the years, but it's kind of narrowed my focus the more I've gone along. So a lot of my days are filled with soccer.
Soccer and class. Huh?
Yeah.
Soccer and class. Well, now that we've gotten to know you a little bit better, after Southwest, do you have long soccer aspirations? Are you looking at a specific career, specific college? Kind of, as you begin thinking about your life after Southwest, what comes to mind?
I plan on going to Delta State after Southwest, and I'm a business major. I'm still kind of trying to decide what exact path I want to follow, maybe management. I would like to play soccer at Delta State. They're a DT program, and I think that would be really beneficial for me.
And of course, when you're playing soccer, who's the first person you call after every game?
Probably my mom. She's been there for almost every game, so if she can't make a game, I always call her afterwards.
And if she's there, you go see her afterwards. So
yeah.
She's the first person after every game.
Yeah.
Well, of course, you've gotten to know Coach Zach Mills here at Southwest Mississippi Community College. So tell me something. 15, 20 years from now, you're walking around town and somebody says, hey, you know Zach Mills? What's the first thing that you'll think about when you hear that name?
He's great. Me and him, we have a very strange relationship because I don't really know how to talk to people, and he has this like very likable personality. So me and him talking to each other is like, hey, like short little comments. But we get along really, really well. He will definitely be somebody I remember for the rest of my life.
So you hear that name years from now, you'll go, hey, I know him.
Yeah.
Zach Mills, of course, the head soccer coach here at Southwest Mississippi Community College. Well, thanks for letting us get to know you just a little bit better. Good luck in your soccer season. And we hopefully will be catching up with some of the soccer players a little bit later on as the season continues. So good luck and thank you.
Thank you.
That's been another Bear Spotlight right here on Bear TV.
Let's get to it. It's time to talk softball here on Inside Bear Athletics.
Well, welcome back to Inside Bear Athletics here on Bear TV. And right now it's time to talk Southwest softball. Get the season preview from head coach Shay Johnson. Coach, good evening.
Thanks for having me.
Well, Coach, last time you were on this program, it was back in the fall, and the big announcement was made, a $340,000 renovation. And the last time we talked, that was still a vision. Now that vision's reality.
The vision is reality. We've been on that reality for the last probably 4 weeks, and I can't be any more pleased with the way it turned out. Our girls are definitely, we're excited about bringing in some of our first recruits. Some got to see it in the process, but we're excited about bringing our recruits on campus that haven't really got the opportunity. The feedback on social media has been phenomenal. We're excited about that. You know, we're getting a lot of alumni. We will be playing Friday at 2 and 4. We'll have a ribbon cutting and throw out the first pitch on it, kind of celebrate it being, finished. But it's still going to take probably 6 months for it to settle in and grow in and, become the field it can be visually. We have overseeded ryegrass, but it's not quite grown in as pretty as it will be. But it's been a phenomenal feat. The company that did it, I can't say enough about, Mr. Shook and his company and what they did for us.
Well, I can remember looking at it back in the fall. It was nothing but dirt over there. And I'm sure you went over there, you saw just the dirt, and you thought, oh, man, am I ever going to get my field back?
I was worried.
Yeah.
I was worried. There were several times I drove up going, I just don't get it.
Yeah.
How they envision and what they start at and what it finished at. But, I'd like to take this opportunity without our, president, Dr. Bishop, and, of course, Andrew Alford, figuring out how we're going to take care of the situation. But our board, our board supported us, met with us, and saw the need, that we needed to just not keep piecemealing, but make a change and get this field where it needs to be. And we're excited about that. They've supported us. Certainly we're going to invite all those guys back this Friday and hopefully it'll be streamed on Bear TV. I think it will be in the opener. And, we're just very excited about the direction the program is going. And I think our team is very excited about getting open on their own field.
Well, before we start talking softball, let's real quick kind of recap the last year. It's been a crazy year.
Absolutely.
365 days of unexperienced in your lifetime ever. You get the start of last season, you get that season canceled, then you get the renovation on your field, which moves you off of your field onto other fields. High schools, for the most part, didn't play softball last season. Some didn't play this season. Recruiting became an issue. What's it been like navigating the last year?
It's probably been as tough a year as ever involved in the collegiate athletes. And I know it was real tough on the high schools as well. The private schools got to play their season. A lot of because they played
in the fall. Yes.
But a lot of the high schools didn't get to play. And we, on the recruiting, it was very different in a sense that we had to go put in more time than we normally do in the travel ball section because we didn't get a lot of chance to see these kids on a high school setting. So that made it a little different. The fact of not being able to bring your kids into camps, we have exposure camps here, not having a feel. It made it really, really hard. And then the other thing I guess was the hardest thing for all of us was dealing with the COVID. You waited for that ball to drop on you, even through the fall this year. We get that phone call, Coach, I can't taste, I can't smell. Mm-hmm. And then you knew, okay, we got a background trace. We go back 48 hours and who's got to be sent home. And so, that was really tough. It's been tough to get our team back. We delayed the start of school here to like the 12th. We did bring our girls back. I say we delayed it. It started on the 12th online, but we were able to bring our kids back on the 12th. Some schools started back on the 4th. So there was a little kind of distance in there on how much more practice you got. And so it kind of brings us up to present, but it has been something that I don't know what the norm, I've forgotten what norm is all about, and I'm excited maybe with the vaccines that we see, our herd immunity and we get in that direction where we get some kind of normalcy for these kids back.
Let's talk about recruiting just real quick. A lot of times you start looking at them as 10th graders and 11th graders before you ever get onto them as seniors. And for the juniors, they didn't get their year either. So does it make recruiting harder more next year than it did this year in some ways?
Well, for us in junior college, we turn kids over. So we see we have a little bit easier job than, say, the Division ones.
Mm-hmm.
They have something that's a little hard to deal with. I really don't see, especially this year, it doesn't count for our girls.
Yeah.
So we have girls that are technically eligible to play 4 years in junior college. They lost the season last year. This year doesn't count. They're sophomore, they could. Now, we don't have the number of hours you can take to be able to do that, but it has created a space for those kids, in my opinion, on the D1, D2, and D3 level when they leave here in NAIA. Those seniors that can stay and work on their masters don't create as many spots for our girls and for the high school seniors to go on those teams. Because, if I'm a 4-year school and I can keep seniors another year and have a 25-year-old playing for me on a Division I level, I'm going to want that 25-year-old.
Yeah.
And with them offering master programs, unlike us here at the junior college, we do have some girls that come back, that it is kind of hard because probably the best recruiting class I've had so far going into this class that's coming in next may not get to play on, a full season. We don't know yet, so they it's a shame that we could actually have a group of girls that played here for 2 years. At any time we could be told that, hey, the outbreak's too great, we have to cut it back off. So we're just crossing our fingers and hoping things work. But it has affected the way we recruited, but not as much on us as it has the 4-year schools. It created a gap.
Well, of course, everybody talks about the head coach of the team, but the head coach knows you got to have good people under you. Assistant coaches are so important, especially in community college. Who's helping you this year?
Hannah Price is back. Hannah has done a phenomenal job for me. She's a young lady that's just ever evolving as a coach. She brings a young Christian to our program, great role model, All-American pitcher from William Carey, right here out of Parkland Academy, a product right here locally. Hannah's recruiting ability has been tremendous for us, and as she evolves as a coach, I'm hoping that direction takes her. Possibly there'll come a day where I'm getting older and older
Happy
and older.
but sad, huh?
Happy but sad.
Happy but sad.
There'll come a time when I want to be on Robbie's side. I want to retire and watch it from the bleachers. But I think she's getting in that direction to be ready, and that's what it's all about for me. Is not only am I coaching a team, but I'm getting to mold a young coach, and it's so exciting to be around her. She brings so much energy to this old man, and she just brings that energy that I need. There's nothing that I ask her to do that she doesn't do to the T. I don't have to worry about, hey, did you remember to do this? It's done. So it makes it easier for a coach to have an assistant that can do that. And I have total confidence in what she does. And, we're ever learning. I'll walk up. Of course, team hits a home run. She's calling pitches. What was that? But again, she's calling a great pitch. I just want to know, not really questioning. But, I think as that goes on and she sees, and in the fall she was able to coach some third base. So I think she's ever evolving as a coach. And as long as she continues to go in that direction, she's had some major opportunities to leave, but has really, settled here. This is where she wants to be. And she's working with USA Softball now. So she kind of travels the country and evaluates players for USA Softball. So we're excited about, Hannah. We brought on a new hitting coach this year, Michael Clements. He's working with our hitters. I'm very pleased to say, opening series last week, we ended up, I think we hit 2 bombs and several doubles, and probably had 15 or 16 hits in one game, and it's been tremendous. Mike's done a great job, and I think the girls have bought into what he's doing, and we're very excited about that. But absolutely, I wouldn't be where we are without those guys helping me.
Let's talk a little softball now. That is, after all, while we're here. In softball, everybody always asks you this question: who's in the circle, Coach? So what do you have in the circle this year, Coach?
We're pretty deep. We're 5 girls deep in the circle. We have a returner, Jade Latham, who's a 3-year.
I was gonna say, she's your super sophomore, right?
She's a super sophomore, and I really feel great things are for Jade, you know. But being here 3 years also is putting some pressure on Jade. You know, teams know her. Mm-hmm. So she's got to adapt and create a couple more and go-to pitches that, you know, Jade's a rise ball pitcher. So now the curveball's got to be a little better because they know how to face her as a rise ball. So the longer you stay also kind of gets your scouting report out on you. We've had another young lady come in from Bunkie, Louisiana, Jensen Grimion, and she had 250 strikeouts her junior year. In that shortened season, I think she was well over 100. Phenomenal pitcher. Did a great job for us in the opening series, got the win against Baton Rouge. We're expecting big things. And then we have two young ladies that saw action in the circle last year, Jolie Freeman, who did a great job for us, and Mackenzie Altamont out of, I think, South Terrebonne. And both of those saw a lot of action last year. And then we had two freshmen. We had Cora Robinson, who has a cannon for an arm. Cora can top out probably 65 miles an hour. And she is going to be expected to be our closer. We just have to work her in because of, I think, 6 weeks of our fall season. Cora was, for 5 of them, she was basically quarantined. Never got it, but was quarantined. And lastly, we have a girl, Amber Coward. Amber kind of brings two folds. Amber's a pitcher, but more so she has a bat that just, you know, doesn't stop. So Amber will see a lot of action in the DP role or pitch hitting role also.
Outside of that circle, you talked about bringing in a hitting coach like Michael Clements and how happy you were at the hitting performances the Bears had. Who are some of the other Bears outside that circle that you're just going to depend on this year? For this season to go, these girls need to perform.
You know, our two middle infielders have played together since I think they were probably 8 or 9, products of North Pike and Sonia Wallace's program. Jenna Brock and Madison Moak, they're two of our leadoffs, 1-2 spot usually. They're big, you know, to have the middle. We just got a release yesterday for Madison Moak to come back. She had twisted her ankle pretty good during practice. So we got her back, and I think that gives us that 2-hole spot. But, you know, in the other positions, we've been blessed with a great player out of Parkland Academy that's starting at third for us, and she has just really come on. Haley Jenkins, she was one that hit a bomb in the game against Baton Rouge. She hit a 2-run shot. So Haley's another product that we're expecting big things from. Ashley Rowland, our catcher, another incoming freshman, had a great at-bats against Baton Rouge. I don't know what her overall was, but behind the plate, she's going to be really good. We have 2 other catchers behind her, and they'll split time, and one of them is a returning sophomore, and one is a true freshman. Hannah Fuel would be the sophomore, and Serenity Berg is our freshman. And I expect good things. We have to prove a little bit on the bat, but I think they're going to be pretty good. In the outfield, we're just, you know, we have Asia Walker. We have a Mel Lewis in center field, great bat, left-handed swinger. She does it all. Right field is going to be made up of a bunch of great bats. We have a young lady, Macy Miley, out of Centerville Academy. Macy's strong, has the potential to go yard anytime she swings. If her defense continues with her bat, got a young lady playing second for us right now, has done a great job for us, but her bat is phenomenal. Bailey Buckley out of Columbia Academy. And Bailey, you know, her bat is going to be real big. Shelby Mason at first has got a tremendous bat. I've never been as deep in the lineup. Like, you can't pitch past us in the 3-hole and say, I'm going to get to these other. Nan Gatlin, product of Parkland Academy, you know, she batted probably 350 or higher in the fall. So we have the bats to match up. I mean, we have 2 great leadoffs with speed, and then anywhere in there we have 7 kids that can get it out of the yard at any swing.
Let's talk a little bit about your schedule. One of the things you lose this year, those North schools that usually come, I say the North schools, not the North Mississippi schools, but the North schools. They're not allowed to travel down this year, so you're kind of having to redo your schedule, not getting those snowbird schools in. So what's the schedule look like this year? Number 2, on the division side, are you guys still going to try to play that normal?
We are. Our schedule is going to be normal. Once we get to the last weekend in February, we'll start early. We'll put a week in between, kind of mid-conference, and then there'll be a week at the end for COVID makeups. We'll still make rain-ups up as we normally would.
You have rain and COVID to do.
Rain and COVID. So that's going to kind of be normal. But, last year we went down and we were 3-1 coming out of a big tournament, Division I JUCO tournament down in Orange Beach. We weren't able to do that because of the COVID risk and also the cancellation. When you go that far and you stay on the beach, you almost need condos. And the cancellation down there, it's got to be like a storm. It can't be a COVID related. So this year we're going to go to Oxford. We go to Oxford and play Arkansas. I want to say Arkansas State, Mississippi Delta. Then I think we play Arkansas State again. And this was supposed to be a bigger tournament, but a lot of the teams like Southwest Tennessee weren't able to make the travel. It's also opened us up to playing some four-year schools. We're going to play Louisiana College Monday. So it's shortened it, but we're going to make a weekend out of it. We're going to go for that tournament in Oxford, take off Sunday, maybe take the girls up on a little trip to Memphis, kind of walk around a little bit, let them see Memphis, come back Monday, back through Moorhead and play in a doubleheader there, and then we'll come on back home. So we're looking forward to that. But it has changed it a lot, but we still were able to pick up some non-division games.
And that is so important to play those non-division games to get the girls ready for what's coming with the division.
It is, and I'm
schedule.
glad we didn't have to do what baseball did.
Having to play your South teams as your pre-opponents.
Well, and the problem with that is we don't have the number of pitchers. So in order to, in girls softball, we throw the same.
You couldn't hold too much back, in other words.
Well, yeah, that's exactly
You couldn't hold too much
I
back.
go out there and I hold back, we're going to get beat.
Yeah.
I go out there and I throw my starters, everybody knows what they throw.
Yeah, exactly.
So it really, even with our boys, it didn't make for a, but because they have 12 and 13 guys that throw, it's different than us throwing our 1 through 4s. We'll do a lot in the tournament with them, but again, we're not playing division foes, you know what I'm saying?
You're not playing Colan and Jones.
But it's no secret
next week.
anymore. The positive thing that what we have at Bear TV is it's great, but everybody in the world just watched us play.
Yeah.
You don't hide on a lot of people anymore. I know I scouted Colan and LSUE the other day. It was great to do it from my recliner in my trophy room, my hunting room.
3.5 hour games.
Yeah, and I just sat there and kind of when they came up to bat, I looked at their pictures, looked at this, and so it's good for everybody. The families get to see it, but it also makes it easy on the coaches.
Yeah, let's hope Shay, by the way, does not pull a 3.5 hour softball.
I hope
game on us
so.
this
We've
year.
done some stuff, but not.
Let's hope that doesn't happen on Southwest softball this
Amen,
year,
amen.
as it did with Colan softball when they got their season started. Well, Coach Johnson, sounds like the girls are ready to go. I know everybody's just ready to go. Everybody's ready to play. Everybody's ready to put one in the column to say, hey, we got the season started. We don't know what the rest of the season's going to bring, but we hope we get to play it.
Well, right now, if we don't get another game in, we're 500.
Exactly.
So we're going to take it 1 week at a time, and we've talked about that, and our team is faith based. I mean, we're a big team. We're big Christian push on our team, and the one thing I told the girls, and it goes back to a saying that was told when I was very small. We walk in faith. We walk in what we see, and I've really our motto this year, of course, is all in. But my big push with the girls is, hey, we got to walk in faith. There's a reason everything's going on. But, in hunting, I walk in faith, but we shoot by what we see. So it's hard to trust what our faith is. And we just got to take it one game, one inning, one series at a time. And if the ball drops and we're out for 2 weeks, we're out for 2 weeks. We got to prep that way. So I think we're going to consider our season that way. We're just going to try to play to stay ahead of the curve. And if we have something fall, then we'll deal with it when it comes. But we're not going to dwell on it.
Absolutely. And, of course, one of the things you mentioned a moment ago, Bear TV, for those who may not be able to come to the ball game, because there are some fans this year that for reasons like COVID or for illness or for quarantine can't come to the ball games.
Absolutely.
Having an outlet like Bear TV so people don't miss the games is so very important, isn't it?
It is. It's been a tremendous plus for our girls because even our recruits, it makes it nice that our recruits can watch us play when they can't get over here. We playing a 2 and 4 on Friday, so if you're having school, and Friday's not your off day, they can't come over and see us play. So it gives the girls an opportunity to follow us, and they really do a good job keeping up with all of our players. And I think that is something that Bear TV's given us the opportunity to do.
Absolutely. Well, Coach, thanks so much for giving us the preview. Field looks great. The grass is as green as it can possibly be today.
Right now.
So we're going to hope that grass gets even greener and a great season for the Southwest Ladies softball team.
Excited about it. Thank you so much. Look forward to seeing you Friday.
Absolutely. Well, Coach, we appreciate it, and we'll come back, and we're going to start a new segment here on Bear TV, the Bear Spotlight, where we feature players outside of the game that they love to play so much. We'll do that when we come back on Bear TV and Inside Bear Athletics. Hey Bear fans, in this COVID year, don't forget Southwest Mississippi Community College has the following attendance policy for home games. The home team will get 40 tickets for every basketball game. Visiting teams will be allowed 15. There will be 30 tickets available for Southwest students, and those will be on a first-come, first-served basis. You can pick up those student tickets at the Sports Information Office on the Southwest campus. There's also 20 tickets available for the general public. Those will be sold at the campus bookstore at a cost of $10 a piece. The Southwest Cheer Squad, they get 10 tickets, and there's no pep band or halftime performances at home basketball games this year. MACCC, MHSAA, MAIS, and Southwest passes will be accepted at the door. Anyone attending the games will of course be asked to wear a mask and to try to maintain 6-foot distance between groups. By the way, the teams will also be seated on the south side of the gymnasium. All fans will be seated on the north side at the Southwest Basketball Center. Another difference this season is the mirrored schedule. That means when the Bears are at home, the Lady Bears are on the road against the same team. All home games this year, with the exception of February 27th and March 6th, will tip off at 6 p.m. in the Southwest Basketball Center.
Here's another student spotlight on Inside Bear Athletics.
Well, welcome back to Inside Bear Athletics here on Bear TV on this Tuesday night. Time for another Bear Spotlight. And this evening we spotlight Southwest Baseball and Southwest Baseball sophomore Braden Coffey. How are you tonight, sir?
I'm good. How are you?
Well, we're going to use this spotlight segment not necessarily to talk baseball, but to talk about the player yourself. So first off, kind of introduce yourself. For those who may not know you, kind of tell us a little bit about your background, where you grew up, what school you went to.
Well, I'm from here. Went to Park Lane Academy. Lived here since I was 10 years old, and
Obviously, you're a baseball player.
yes, sir.
Started baseball very early in your life. What is your first baseball memory?
First memory, I was 4 years old. I was from Lawrence County.
Mhm.
Went to Lawrence County, and they had a little baseball thing there, whatever. When we got there, I was too young to play, but we knew one of the coaches, so he let me on the team. So that's my first legitimate baseball.
So you were 4 years old and weren't supposed to be
Wasn't
there, but
supposed
you
to
were
be
there anyway, huh?
Yes, sir.
When did you take up catching? Has that always been your thing, or was that kind of a high school thing that you kind of grew into?
So my dad kind of pushed it on me when I was younger because he was a catcher and he played here. But I always told him I didn't want to. He kept pushing it on me. Well, finally, when I got to Park Lane, Coach Young was a big influence on that and pretty much told me, was like, you got to catch. So I've been doing it ever since.
Well, let's talk about your time there at school before you got to Southwest. Obviously playing baseball, like you said, since 4 years old. A lot of folks have influenced you along the way. You mentioned Coach Young, you mentioned your dad. Were there others that kind of influenced you in the way you not only played the game, but the way you uphold the game in your mind?
Yes, sir. My grandpa, he had passed in 2017, and my grandma, she passed in 18. Those two, my grandma, she was a real big influence. She brought me to almost every baseball game and all that. And my grandpa, he was a heck of an athlete back in his days, and I don't know, just hit me hard whenever they were gone, and kind of do it for them.
Mm-hmm.
But
So Mama, Pawpaw, and then Dad, and then when you got to Park Lane, obviously Coach Young. What was the recruitment process like? Of course, with you being from Park Lane, you're right here in Southwest back door. So obviously you know about the college, you knew Coach Jackson. But what was it like being recruited, and making the decision to stay at home?
I only had 2 offers out of high school. It was here in East Central, and my thought process was 4 hours away or 15 minutes away, so why not stay home?
Let's talk outside baseball now. Let's get to know you a little bit better. You told us about your baseball career. What are some of the things you enjoy doing outside of the game of baseball?
I like to hunt, not deer hunt. If my dad sees this, he'll blow me up on that. I love turkey hunting. Not a big deer hunter. I like spending time with my brother and sister. Those two get me going. They're my rock. Without them, I don't know how I would be. But
I think following you along the way too, I've noticed the brother and sister pretty much don't miss a coffee game, do they?
they don't. They don't.
They always have somebody bringing them to a coffee game. You can believe that. Dad may not be there because of work, but little brother and little sister are always there. Aren't
They will.
Let's talk more about the family now that we've gotten to know you a little bit better. After Southwest, first off, what are you majoring in? What are your plans after Southwest?
Right now, I don't have a major, but I plan on going and coaching, and I've narrowed it down, teaching aspect between English and math.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess I'll see next year which one I want to do.
A teacher and a coach, huh?
Yes, sir.
So obviously you're going to tell me then that Coach Jackson and Coach Young at Park Lane had big influences on you becoming, or the aspirations you have for the future then.
Yes, sir.
Well, let's talk one more thing. Obviously, you'll never forget your time here at Southwest. Last year was a crazy year, wasn't it?
It was very crazy.
Getting your season completely shortened. Of course, you get this season to play. Was there any thought that you, I don't know, would give up baseball, or were you 100% committed?
I was 100% committed. I wasn't giving it up. I put too many hours into this.
So even at your house, you were throwing the ball around up against the wall if you had to.
Oh, yeah.
Wanted to stay in shape so you could come back this year and, of course, play here at Southwest
Yes, sir.
under Coach Jackson and, of course, Coach Biggs. Well, before I let you leave, I got to ask you one more question. He's not in the room, so you can speak honestly now. So you got to give us your best Coach Jackson-ism, so to speak. What's the one thing he tells you all the time that you'll never forget, even 20 years from now? What's the one Coach Jackson thing that you'll always remember?
It's one word, focus. He says it all the time.
Focus, focus, focus.
Yes, sir. Says it just like that. Focus.
Focus, focus, focus. Well, we have been happy getting to know you, Braden Coffey, the individual, of course, moving on from Southwest to become a coach and a teacher. Who knows, we may see you back here at Southwest Mississippi Community College in a different capacity one day. But thank you for your time at Southwest, and thank you for your time here today with another Bear Spotlight right here inside Bear Athletics on Bear TV.
Thanks for joining us for Inside Bear Athletics. To keep up with all current game stats, scores, and events, join us at www.southwestbearathletics.com.